Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into the lyrics of Drezus's music video, Warpaint.
Yeah, we've got the lyrics here.
Exactly. And the plan is to really unpack them, see what they tell us about, the artist's view on identity, community, stuff like that.
It's amazing how much you could pull from song lyrics, isn't
Yeah.
it? They're so direct.
Totally. They give you this window, like right into someone's perspective and maybe even wider cultural ideas.
So yeah, this deep dive is all about peeling back those layers in this one song.
Okay, great. So let's jump in. There's that line that repeats, really hits you. War paint on my face, I ain't scared to catch a case.
Right, that repetition definitely signals it's central.
What does that bring up for you straight away? Like, what are the layers there?
Well, the war paint, obviously, it could be literal,
Uh-huh.
thinking about indigenous traditions, maybe ceremony or preparing for conflict.
Okay.
But metaphorically, it's about courage, right?
Yeah.
Being ready for, well, whatever comes. And that catch a case, that points to challenges, opposition, maybe legal trouble, maybe just pushback. It makes you wonder what specific fight he's referencing.
That makes sense. A readiness for conflict, internal or external. Then there's one time for the G, two times for the N.
Yeah, those lines.
Feels like shout-outs, acknowledgments. What do those usually signal in lyrics like this?
Well, without more context, it's a bit tricky to pin down exactly. But yeah, usually it's about affiliation, showing respect or connection to certain groups, maybe places, maybe even, your crew.
Yeah.
Community is key.
Right, underlining that connection. Okay, next up is this really interesting bit. Smudge up quick, boy. Hold way, get replenished. Call me papy. When I roll that spin. Call my nerves KNLENE if you buck boy.
Yeah, that whole sequence, there's a definite contrast happening there.
How so?
Well, you start with smudge up quick. Smudging, that's an indigenous practice, right? Using smoke, sage usually, for cleansing, for spiritual strength. So quick suggests like an urgent need for that grounding, that preparation.
Getting replenished.
Exactly. Fits right in. Renewal.
Yeah.
But then you get, if you buck boy, that's way more confrontational. It's like a warning almost.
So like seeking inner peace but also ready to stand your ground?
Precisely. That duality is fascinating.
And that readiness, wow, gets amplified later. Ready to go to war there. My people I die for. I'm ready to go to war. It's my people I ride for. The repetition.
Yeah, repeating, ready to go to war, it just hammers home that commitment, that fierce loyalty. My people I die for. My people I ride for. It's intense.
No kidding. It really underscores that willingness to fight, maybe even sacrifice for the community.
Definitely.
Then we also hear one time for the whole clan, three times for the old man. How does this connect back to the earlier shout-outs?
It feels like an expansion,
Yeah.
from maybe specific groups like G or N to the whole clan that's broader kinship, family, community. And the old man, that's pretty clearly about respecting elders, tradition, the wisdom passed down.
So widening the circle of loyalty and respect. Got it. Then strike this match. I'm gonna burn that sage, baby me down, baby me down.
All right, back to the sage, the smudging.
But strike this match feels more active, maybe more defiant than just smudge up quick.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It feels decisive, yeah. Like taking deliberate action to cleanse or prepare. Burning the sage connects right back. But that baby me down, repeated. That's interesting.
What do you make of that part?
It's a bit more vulnerable, perhaps. Amidst all the readiness for conflict, maybe a need for comfort, for grounding, it adds another layer of complexity.
Okay, and then the tone shifts again, quite dramatically. I love it when you pray for me, all these haters want to hate. Please pray for me. Put your hands up high in the air for me. Middle fingers up like you don't care for me.
Whoa, yeah. That juxtaposition is stark.
Seeking prayer, support, but then that defiant middle fingers up.
It really captures that feeling of navigating both positivity and negativity,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Like wanting that spiritual backup, pray for me, while simultaneously just dismissing the haters. It screams resilience, I think.
Resilience even while acknowledging the hate. Then a line that feels really heavy. I've been fighting for this land so my people on the race.
Yeah, that carries a lot of weight.
What kind of context does that evoke? Historically or even now?
Oh, absolutely. It strongly suggests themes of land rights, indigenous sovereignty, the historical and ongoing struggles, fighting for this land. And my people on the race, that seem to point directly to his indigenous identity, that fight for recognition for their place, their ancestral territories.
That connects powerfully with the later lines. War pain as you take to the streets in unified fashion, get mon. I hum ask you to protect my spirit, to protect my blood, and to protect my land.
Exactly. The call for unity, unified fashion, that's vital. It's
Yeah.
about collective strength. And that plea protects
Okay.
spirit, blood, land. Those are like the pillars, right?
Yeah.
Spirit, ancestry, territory. It's asking for protection for the very core of identity, both personal and communal. It's powerful stuff.
It really is. There is that one bit, though. Hey, if I wanted you, girl, what you want me to. If I needed you, girl, seems a bit different.
Yeah, that feels like a brief detour, maybe. More personal, relationship focused. It's in there, but it doesn't quite tie into those main threads of identity, struggle, community in the same way. Kind of an interlude.
Okay. So, stepping back from the individual lines,
Mhm.
what are the big takeaways, the core messages you hear in Warpaint?
Well, I think it's this potent mix, really. There's the readiness for conflict, definitely, but also this incredibly deep connection to community, to heritage, to my people. There's the spiritual element, the grounding through things like smudging. And overarching all of that is the fight for land, for identity, for survival, maybe.
It really drives home how much artists can pack into lyrics, the layers of meaning, the emotion.
Absolutely. It makes you think, doesn't it, about how people use art, use metaphor and symbol to express that kind of resilience, that cultural strength, especially when facing tough times.
It does. For me, it's that constant link between the individual, the I who is ready for war, and the collective, the my people. The strength seems drawn from that connection.
That's a great point, that interdependence. And, it leaves you wondering, perhaps, how do other kinds of art, maybe visual art or writing, how do they use similar tools, symbolism, metaphor, to explore those same themes? Resilience, identity, especially in challenging circumstances, something to think about.